Right, the meeting of the 32nd Ordinary Session of the Assembly of the African Union has kicked off, as we said earlier, and then at the closed-door meeting, the heads of state and government of the 55 member states are expected to consider reports on international reforms. So on this particular one, TVC News' Moyo is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Moyo, thank you so much for joining us on the news. Give us the latest on the ongoing summit.
Okay, today at the opening, there was a new head of government for a new chairperson for the head of government and state. That's the president of the Islamic State of the Republic of Egypt. He took the reins from Paul Kagame. In the last 1 year he was the he was the chairperson of the head of the assembly. Basically, that's the major thing that happened today. And then also there was the statue of Haile Selassie, the Emperor of Egypt, was also opened. He's celebrated by the African people because of his contribution to the development of Africa.
All right, Nigeria is part of the delegations. Of course, that's the reason you're there. So what would the representative of our country be bringing to the table this time?
Well, I spoke with the Minister of Foreign Affairs after the opening ceremony, and he said basically what Nigeria is particular about is the financing of AU. They believe that there's so much money pumped by Nigeria especially. There are 5 countries at the moment, 5 African countries, that sponsors AU, and Nigeria is one of the major sponsors. So they're trying to cut down on the amount Nigeria spends in the sponsorship of the AU. So one of the things is the committees. There are so many committees that is constituted, and at the end of the day, these committees got a lot of money. So according to the minister, he said that they've cut down. They've told the union to cut down on these committees so as to reduce the spending by the major 5 countries that sponsors AU.
That's quite interesting. But what are the strategies discussed to tackle the challenges faced by refugees, returnees, and, of course, internally displaced persons, since the theme focuses on these issues?
Yes, this year's theme is on that issue, and also the minister says it's very important to Nigeria because at the moment we have over 2 million internally displaced people in the country. So the topic of focus is very important to Nigeria at the moment. And the president of Equatorial Guinea has been appointed to ensure the implementation of the issue that concerns refugee and internally displaced people in Africa. So in the next 1 year, we'll have strategies will be well developed, and we'll follow up to know what strategies the AU would be adopting to ensure that conflict, especially that leads to internally displaced people, is rid of in Africa.
Mm-hmm. So Rwandan President Paul Kagame, as you said earlier on, will be handing over to the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi as AU chairman. So how much did Kagame say he has achieved during his term when he addressed earlier?
He actually said, especially the work they did on ensuring the corruption. His tenure last year, the theme was combating corruption in Africa. So tomorrow they'll be presenting their report on this. Our own president is the chairperson for the particular focus. So President Muhammadu Buhari will be giving his report on what his committee has done to ensure that corruption in Nigeria, in Africa, becomes a thing of the past. So basically, he said they did a lot of work to ensure that they fought corruption, they developed strategies to fight corruption. So we'll wait for the reports that would come in tomorrow from the Nigerian president.
All right, TVC News' Moyo in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Thank you so much for talking to us.